up in the morning, I'm usually quite stiff, so I do the two-hand arm exercise, which helps to loosen up my upper girdle. Neck rolling, I do this because I have a stiff neck, injured it several years ago. And then leg bending, legs get very stiff, so this leg bending is what I do to help loosen up. And then the lumbar rolling is just, again, loosening up. And the whole idea of these groups of exercises lying is to just loosen up. Lumbar twisting, that's from side to side. I have to be careful that I don't overdo it. Gentle. After all, I've been asleep all night, so gently does it. The arm stretching exercise just helps to loosen up the upper girdle, shoulders, and then the head rotating is just a variation of the neck rolling exercise. Twisting from side to side helps to keep my neck reasonably mobile. It's never going to cure it, but reasonable. So I'm standing with the aid of my frame. Just one thing about the frame, I can't move without holding on to the frame, or holding on to my stick, or holding on to the doorpost as I go past. So my frame is essential. I do the arm stretching. I do 10 of those, and then the head rotating like I've done on the bed, from side to side, round and round. All this is helping to keep the neck fairly mobile. And then I do 3 sets of squats, holding on to the frame, 10 at a time. And then I do the small head movements, keeping the neck reasonably mobile. And then I do side to sides again. This is all variations of what I do to keep the lumbar region reasonably mobile. It's all to do with mobility, trying to keep myself as mobile as possible. And so when I've done those, I do more squats, 2 lots of 10 squats. And then abdominal muscles, I do two different exercises of abdominal muscles. I started to do those years ago. I'd be about 18, I suppose, when I wanted to be Mr. Universe, but it didn't last long. And then another lot of squats, another lot of head rotating, another lot of arm stretching, and then I end up by doing the press-ups. Most people would do press-ups on the floor, but not me, because if I get on the floor, I have a job to get up. So this is my variation of the press-ups. And then the leg stretching, where a leg at a time on the chair. Just stretching really helped to keep the last little bit of stretching the legs. To end my routine of exercising upstairs, I've devised what's called a rack exercise, a bit like the old-fashioned rack torture. I do this because it stretches the whole of the spine. I wish I could hang on to the bar in the bathroom, but I can't, not really. I think the whole thing would collapse. But just stretching it is enough to stretch the spine as much as possible. Now, before I go downstairs and dress and so on, I end up on the bike. I do three sessions a day on the bike, about 20 minutes each time. So it's about just over an hour a day. On my trip to Australia, I've now somewhere in the region of 6,600 miles in my trip from the UK to Melbourne, where I was born, and all in aid of the William Stewart Foundation in Malawi. We have raised over £3,000 to dig a well in the foundation, which will not only benefit the foundation but also the community around us. One of the symptoms of Parkinson's disease is a hand tremor. I'm on medication which helps to control that, but a doctor friend recommended a rotatory exercise, so I got this little machine. I could use it on my legs if I wanted to, but I've got my exercise bike for that. Now, climbing the stairs, I have a lift which I use to go up at night and come down in the morning. The rest of the time I climb the stairs. The reason for doing that is because I work to the principle of what I don't use, I will lose. Apart from exercising, it helps to keep my breathing going, my cardiovascular system working, and keeps my legs moving. It would be so easy to just use the lift every time, but it would defeat the object, in my opinion. People have said to me, why don't you get yourself a electric scooter to go around the village? The same principle. I want to keep as active as I possibly can for as long as I can. And climbing the stairs and walking around the village with my walker is one way of doing it.